Welcome to the Urbana Athletic Department preseason parent meeting. Hopefully, by having the meeting in this manner, it will fit into your schedule better. You will still be required to attend each individual sport meeting, but those meetings can be held at the convenience of the team. There's new material in this video for the 2016-17 school year, so please take the time to watch. Remember, you are responsible for all information covered in this video. The athletic department is extremely excited about bringing Mary Rutan Hospital on as our sole provider of athletic services. You will see their advertisements at our sporting locations beginning the fall of 2016-17. What does this mean to you? Hardly anything. All the athletic services we've always had will not change. Ed Wisner will still be our trainer. We are about to begin a new and exciting era for the athletic boosters. There has been some misconception that the boosters are only concerned with football. I can understand that, but in reality, only football parents are active in the boosters, so most of the decisions reflect that. Once more parents become involved in the boosters, new ideas will be brought to the table, and our booster organization will become reflective of all of our sports. Therefore, beginning for the 2016-17 school year, we are requiring that each sport provide at least 2 parents to actively serve on the boosters. The first booster meeting is on July 28th, 8 p.m. in the UHS cafeteria. We will meet every Thursday during the fall at 8 p.m. in the cafeteria, and only once a month, usually the first Thursday of the month beginning in November. Contact your head coach for more details. The athletic department has decided to reward those special student athletes who have participated in and completed 3 sports within a school year. We are calling them the Triple Threat Athlete. All of our coaches and the athletic department want to reward these athletes for helping make our programs the best they can be. With that said, we are going to give these athletes a Triple Threat Athlete t-shirt and an all-sport pass for the following year. Sorry, seniors, you'll only get the t-shirt. Nothing should be hung at any of our athletic facilities without the permission from the athletic department. We also have size limitations for banners and any other items you may wish to put at these facilities. Just check with the athletic department before purchasing a banner or hoping to display it. I'm sure we can work something out. When washing our uniforms, please do not use fabric softener. And it's actually recommended to not dry them at all. So please, again, do not use fabric softener. There are numerous benefits to high school athletics: discipline, decision-making skills, time management, character building, leadership skills, and work ethic, just to mention a few. I'm sure you'd agree that all these benefits are qualities that business is looking for. For all the aforementioned reasons, athletics are a major contributor to our students' education and are a vital part of the educational process. Since you are accessing the online registration to view this video, you are obviously aware that you need to register each child for each sport played. The athlete is not permitted to participate until the online registration process is completed. Other requirements prior to participation are an updated physical. A physical is good for 1 year from the date it was taken. 8-18 will send you a reminder email 30 days before it expires. The physical will need to be turned in to either the coach or the athletic department. The other required document is the emergency medical form. This document will need to be turned in to the coach. It's not a bad idea to make copies of these documents before turning them in. Other documents you'll be completing in this registration process are the required OHSAA forms. They are the concussion information, insurance verification, and drug testing consent form. These documents are accepted electronically in the registration process. Be sure you read them carefully before accepting them, that you've read them. Don't worry, you only need to watch this video 1 time per household. The program checks your email address you supplied, and if an email has already watched the video, the next time you register, you will not have to watch this video. So again, you only need to watch it 1 time per household. Transportation fee is $100 again this year. Each athlete will need to pay a one-time fee of $100 per school year. This allows them to be able to participate in as many sports as they choose for that school year. The fee must be paid in full before they can participate in a scrimmage or game. This includes home games as well. If you are a junior high athlete, you will pay your fee in the junior high office. If you are a high school athlete, you'll pay your fee in the high school office. We'll begin taking these fees the beginning of August. Ed Wisner is our ATC, and he's very good. His hours vary depending upon the season. He does have a calendar on his door that lets people know days and times he's available. The training room is located across from the band room. I encourage all athletes to seek out Ed before seeing a physician. Ed can let you know if you should go to a doctor or if he feels it's something that he can work through. He will not put your child in danger. If you do decide to go to a doctor, and please pay close attention to this, if you go to a doctor of any type, you must provide Ed with a doctor's note before you can return to play. On the doctor's note, have the doctor be specific about what you can or can't do. A lot of times they may say, take 2 weeks off. Okay, what if you had a hand injury? Does that mean you can't condition or do footwork drills? Or if you have a leg injury, does that mean you can't lift up your body? So please ask your doctor to be specific about your return to play. UHS Athletics will follow the OHSA guidelines for concussion management. What that means is, if your child is showing signs of a concussion, they will automatically be removed from participation. This can be in practice or in a game. If they show signs, they will be removed from participation. Once removed, the child will need to be cleared by a doctor before starting the return to play protocol. The return to play protocol we use is the exact same one that you can find on OHSA website under Suggested Guidelines for Concussion Management in Sports. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. We also do impact testing for our varsity contact sports like football, soccer, basketball, and wrestling. While these tests are currently not made mandatory, we highly encourage all athletes in these sports to get the impact testing done. We'll set up times for each sport to have the testing done. It's up to you as a parent and the athlete to make sure that the athlete chose to have the testing done. If your son or daughter needs an inhaler or an EpiPen, you should complete the paperwork that we need that allows them to carry these items with them or allows athletic staff to carry them for them. It is vitally important that the child notifies the coach of their situation and where these devices can be found. The paperwork needs to be turned in to the athletic office. The paperwork can be found on the athletic website or outside of our door in the school. Our policy is to randomly drug test 20% of our athletes each season. We submit the registered athletes to the testing company, and they provide us with a list of athletes to test. If we have suspicion that an athlete might be involved in drugs or alcohol, we can choose that they be tested. Keep in mind that this policy is in effect year-round. If you have questions about the drug testing policy, you can look at the entire policy in the athletic handbook that is found on the athletic website. Study table will be held Monday through Thursday at the beginning of each grading period. Requirements for attending study table are be passing at least 5 credit hours, which makes you eligible from the previous 9 weeks, and have below a 1.67 GPA. The below 1.67 GPA means that you have to attend study table. The athlete then must attend at least 2 days of study table or academic aid through interns. At interns, the athlete must have at least a 1.67 GPA to remain eligible and be passing all of their classes. The athletic department by mail will inform the athlete's parents of when and where the study table will be held. Sportsmanship is vital in interscholastic athletics. Sometimes when we get caught up in the moment, we may forget that we are parents of children participating in an athletic event. While everyone wants to win, including the kids and the coaches, we must remember that we aren't pro athletes or pro coaches, and we all make mistakes. Let's cheer for our team and not against the other team. Cheer for great plays no matter who makes them, and to be a good sport. We have an excellent website about college recruiting on our website. Many times I get asked questions about what do colleges look for. It's important for parents and athletes to know that only Division I, Division II, and NAIA colleges can offer athletic scholarships. Even so, rarely do these scholarships cover the full amount of room and board and tuition. Division I, II, and III schools can offer academic and need-based scholarships as well. Unless you're an outstanding Division I prospect, colleges look mostly at grades and ACT, SAT scores. Doing well in the classroom is your best bet for earning scholarship money. Let's say you're a good student, probably a low-level Division I or Division II athlete. You need to sell yourself to the colleges to try to get them to recruit you. attend camps, send films. Remember that there are probably 5,000 other athletes doing the same thing as you. Find a way to sell yourself. It's kind of like getting a job. Please take a moment to preview this slide to get costs for games. I'll go into greater detail in the next slide. To make this simple, all varsity CBC football and boys basketball games you'll pay $6 at the gate. However, we do offer student presale tickets for $4. These student presale tickets are good for all home or away CBC football or boys basketball games. The great thing is that if you purchase the presale ticket here, Urbana will keep all the money sold for presale tickets. Why support Graham or Ben Logan? Buy those tickets from us. All high school girls basketball, volleyball, boys and girls soccer games will be $6 for adults, $4 for seniors. All junior high or lower level games that are held by themselves will be $5 for adults and $3 for students. Wrestling prices and some track meets vary depending upon the size of the meet. You can also get all sport passes. These are $75 for adults and $60 for students. These are good for any home event that is not an invitational or CBC or OHSAA sponsored event. These passes may only be used by the card holder. For an extra $1 per game from the ticket price of the game, you can purchase reserved seats for home varsity football games. This is the best bargain in town. No waiting in lines. Your seat is always there for you. Plus, we offer deals for those who wish to purchase reserved seats and all sport passes. We also have family pack special for all sports passes. See Kara in the athletic office for more details. Please take note of these websites as they have a great amount of information for you. If you're interested in our athletic schedules, get on our athletic website. You can get individual sports schedules, weekly sports schedules, or monthly sports schedules. Print out the monthly calendar, plan your month out. The CBC website is great for getting all the school schedules and statistics. The OHSAA is a governing body for interscholastic athletics, and they have a ton of information regarding everything to do with sports. When it comes to tournament time, I go to the Southwest District website to get tournament brackets and tournament locations. If you are 65 or older, live in the Urbana District, and can provide proof of both, go to the board office on Wood Street to get your senior citizens pass. These passes are good for any home event, except a few select Urbana events and CBC or OHSAA tournaments. Kids who specialize in sports are becoming more prevalent, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe the athlete only likes that sport and no others. Maybe the parents only want their child to participate in one sport in hopes that they might receive a college scholarship. It's unfortunate if an athlete only participates in one sport. In order to get the most out of their high school experience, they should become involved in as many activities as possible. It doesn't matter if it's band, choir, the quiz team, or whatever. I encourage kids to become involved. This is the main reason I want athletes to participate in as many activities or sports as possible. The following several slides looks at how college and the medical society feel about one-sport athletes. Kids who specialize in a single sport tend to be less active when they get older. Can you think of why? In this world of obesity, wouldn't it be a great idea to become as active as possible at a young age? Slide. 88% of college athletes participated in more than one sport in high school. College coaches are looking for athletes. You become a better athlete by participating in as many sports as possible. Very few college coaches want kids who specialize in one sport. Kids involved in one sport are more likely to become burnout and quit that sport. They lose the love for the game because that's all they ever do. Let's use this analogy. If you love chocolate chip cookies and eat them over and over again every day, would you like them as much a year from now? It's the same with sports. Variation is the key to long-term enjoyment. Kids doing the same sport over and over again are using the same muscles, the same movement over the same joints. Eventually, this will lead to overuse injuries, much the same as someone might get carpal tunnel syndrome. How do you counter this? The more sports an athlete is involved, the more muscles are engaged, and the more the body can adapt to physical activity. The The more sports a person is involved in, the better they become as an athlete. Their body adapts to the changes in their surroundings, better applying various different motor skills. So overall, the body can transfer these skills to various sports, and the athlete becomes better at a wider variety of sports. Once their playing career is over, these athletes are more than likely going to find a sport they like and participate, thus lessening the chance for obesity. We have some great athletes at Urbana. Plenty of them could have gone on to play sports in college. As you can see from looking at this slide, that a lot of athletes choose not to play sports in college. And of those that do, a very small percentage receive an athletic scholarship to play. If these athletes have the talent to play in college, then why don't they? Good question. For each athlete, the answer might be different. That is why it's so important to participate in as many activities as possible in high school. It's probably the last time the athlete will be able to play in sports in an organized fashion. Sometimes parents think that if a child specializes in a sport, they have a better chance to earn a college scholarship. They just focus on that one sport. I've been involved in high school athletics for over 30 years now, and I've seen it over and over again. The child who specializes burns out, stops playing that one sport. Yes, there are a few select athletes who don't, but the majority do. Playing as many sports as possible gives you options. I like to use my daughter as an example for this. She grew up playing basketball, volleyball, and track. Her first love was basketball. She loved it and was pretty good as well. She was being recruited as a basketball player. However, for some reason, between her junior and senior years, she decided she wanted to play volleyball in college. Why the change? I'm not sure. But she did go on to play volleyball in college and earn an athletic scholarship. However, she also did very well in school, had a good ACT score, and got as much money for an academic scholarship as an athletic scholarship. With that being said, the majority of high school athletes are more likely to get money for an academic scholarship than an athletic scholarship. So do well in school. This slide was previously shown, but I thought it was worthwhile to show again. High school athletics have so many benefits to the real world. Take a moment to view this slide about why educational athletics. Is it just a coincidence that these successful people participated in interscholastic athletics? Parents' roles in athletics are extremely important. Part of the benefits of athletics is that good coaches challenge kids. They push them to be the best they can be, to work harder than they think they are capable of, and to be tougher than they think they can be. Sometimes a coach can say things that they feel will act as motivation to this athlete that the parent may not understand. If a parent reacts negatively to something that has been said or done without fully understanding what and why something was said, and begins to say negative things about the coaches, they may be undermining what the coach is trying to accomplish. If you as a parent don't like something a coach has done, I encourage you to find an appropriate time to speak with a coach and find out why and what was said and what was done. Speaking negatively about a coach in front of the athlete is the worst thing a parent can do. Sometimes parents get so caught up in the event that they forget these kids are out there playing a sport because they really enjoy the sport. When a parent is yelling at their kid or maybe even another child, what good does that do? We only have so many years to watch our children participate in athletics. You should enjoy it, and we as parents should as well. Think about that. The OHSAA requires that every parent be a part of the information session about interscholastic athletics. While the first part of this presentation had to do with the information regarding what Urbana feels is important for you to know, this section is what the OHSAA feels is important for you to know. Why interscholastic athletics? Educators strongly agree that the more activities a child gets involved in, the better their high school experience will be, and the less likely the child will get involved in things they should not be involved in. If you take a moment to read these statements and think about them, these are factors that can greatly benefit high school students. As Urban Meyer once said, it is not his job to prepare athletes for the next level. It's his job to prepare athletes for this level. Our coaches do the same thing. However, our coaches also provide the skill and instruction to prepare kids who want to go on to play college. Our teachers in our classrooms do a great job of teaching our students, but coaches have the unique setting that classroom teachers don't have. They have the ability to teach things that classroom teachers can't because of the surroundings and the internal motivation of the athlete. We strongly believe that athletics are part of the educational experience. While math and science and all the other educational courses are extremely important, we believe what we are doing on our playing fields is very important to the educational setting as well. If an athlete needs to make up a test for some reason, see if it can be done before school so they are not missing practice time. When they miss practice time, they are not only affecting themselves, they are affecting all the teammates that are counting on them as well. So try to adjust your schedule. These next several slides will inform you the basic rules and regulations athletics are governed by. Please keep in mind you are responsible for being in compliance with these rules. At Urbana, we feel that the educational experience and the athletic experience is a vital part of the overall experience of being in school, preparing our kids for life after school. Grades are extremely important. At Urbana, we have higher standards than what the OHSA requires, as covered in the presentation earlier. The information you provide the school determines what your eligibility status will be. We can only be as good as the information you provide us with. However, if the information you provide us with is wrong, we may potentially have to forfeit games, which will affect more than just you. So please be careful. Give us the correct information. All incoming 9th graders and all students already in high school must pass 5 credit hours or the equivalent of 5 credit hours in the previous 9 weeks to be eligible for the current 9 weeks. Note in high school, physical education does not count toward these credit hours as it is not used when determining the GPA for athletic purposes. For junior high athletics, all incoming 7th graders are eligible. However, all 8th graders must pass 5 credit hours to be eligible. Note here, physical education does count in the junior high. While it does count in the junior high, remember, it does not count for high school athletics. The OHSA requires that we check eligibility at the end of our grading period. For any student that is taking a class at a different location than Urbana, high school, or junior high, it is the athlete's responsibility to provide the grades to the athletic department at the end of Urbana's grading period. Failure to provide these grades means that the student will be ineligible until they do provide the grades, and we are able to check them for OHSA and Urbana's eligibility. This is very important. Summer school courses do not count towards eligibility. Again, summer school courses do not count towards eligibility. Also, if you change your schedule, make sure you're taking at least 5 credits worth of courses. The athletic department recommends you take at least 6 credits every quarter. For high school students, you have 8 semesters of eligibility. Once you become a freshman or exceeded the junior high age limit, your semester clock begins. For junior high students, you have 4 semesters. Once you begin 7th grade, your semester clock begins. For high school students, once you turn 20, you become ineligible. For junior high students, if you turn 15 before August 1st, you are ineligible for our junior high sports. However, you can participate in high school sports at that point. Your 8 semesters of eligibility will begin once you start participating. Note, you can choose not to begin your high school eligibility and wait until you enter the 9th grade. Just be aware of the final high school age limit of 20. If you choose to wait until you enter 9th grade, your 8 semesters will begin once you start participating. As the athletic director, keeping track of this type of eligibility is a challenge. Parents and coaches' assistance with the number of these semesters is greatly appreciated. The season begins with the first day of practice. Once the season begins, you cannot participate on any other team of the same sport during that season. For instance, if you are playing soccer, once the OHSA official start date of soccer occurs, you can't participate, try out, train with a non-school program. OHSA states that coaches can't require athletes to participate in open gyms or weightlifting. While this is true, I do encourage all athletes to voluntarily take advantage of the opportunities our coaches provide. One of the reasons we are able to challenge for CBC championships year in and year out is the amount of time outside of the season our coaches put in to help make our athletes get better. We would not be able to compete if our coaches didn't provide that opportunity. We also believe that all of the work we do in the weight room in the off-season lessens the chances for injury. Could you imagine the potential risk of injury showing up for football or any other sport without doing some type of conditioning prior to that sport? OHSAA has numerous rules about everything. If you have a question about the rules, I encourage you to contact the athletic department or get on the OHSAA website. Athletes competing for schools under the guidance of the OHSAA are amateurs. If you compete for money or receive money or merchandise, you may lose your amateur status and become ineligible. Again, if you have questions, check with the athletic department. The next two slides have to do with transferring schools. These rules are primarily for students who have started after beginning a freshman year. These rules do not refer to transfers that happen before you become a freshman. OHSAA tried to make the rules simpler by stating if you transfer schools, for every sport that you participated in the previous year at the last school, you will need to sit out 50% of the games. There are some exceptions to that. Again, contact the athletic department. If the athlete transfers schools, you need to see the athletic director ASAP. There may be paperwork that needs to be completed in order to gain your eligibility. Once you transfer, consider yourself ineligible, so until you speak with the athletic department. As society has become more mobile, the OHSAA understands that families move for work, family, and other considerations. They have put in several exceptions to this transfer rule. As was mentioned before, if you transfer, meet with your athletic director and they can see if you fit one of the exceptions. Anytime an athlete is involved in a sport, there is a potential for the athlete to get hurt. The athletic department wants you to know that our coaches go through extensive training in first aid, CPR, and concussions. We know how to recognize and deal with injuries. Plus, we have a very good trainer who will not allow your child to play when they shouldn't be playing. Before you can begin practice, you must do several things. First thing, you must register online using 818 from Urbana's athletic website. Second thing, having an updated physical on file. And finally, have a complete emergency medical form turned into your coach. During the online registration process, you will complete all the other OHSAA and Urbana City Schools required documents that you need to turn in. The next several slides are dealing with concussions. As I spoke earlier in the presentation about concussions, we take concussions very seriously. If any of our coaches feel that a participant has been concussed, they will remove them from the activity they are in. A challenge that we have is that sometimes concussion symptoms don't immediately show. If an athlete is home and a concussion symptoms appear, the athlete should notify the trainer. Also, if an athlete sustains a concussion outside of school activities, they should immediately let their coaches and trainer know upon their return to school. Once a coach, official, or trainer removes you from practice or a game for reasons they believe are related to a concussion, you immediately must begin the return to play protocol. The first step in the protocol is to get a doctor's excuse. The return to play protocol we use is the same one that you can find on the OHSAA website under suggested guidelines for concussion management in sports. If you ever have any questions, again, don't hesitate to ask. Once our trainer has the opportunity to speak with the athlete about a concussion, he notifies the principal and the school nurse if they feel an educational modification to be made, they will do so. The OHSAA does not permit the use of any form of alcohol, tobacco, or illegal drugs during contest. The Urbana Athletic Department does not recommend the use of performance-enhancing supplements. A real challenge with these supplements is there aren't any studies on what the effects will be on the adolescent athletes. The athletic department strongly believes that if our athletes eat a healthy diet and get the necessary rest, they will not need any supplements. The use of anabolic steroids or any other prescription drugs used to enhance their performance is strictly forbidden by the OHSAA and the Urbana Athletic Department. There is no place in interscholastic athletics or athletics in general for any of these types of drugs. Sporting behavior. We're going to pause for 5 seconds and then go on to the next slide. Being a good sport is part of the educational learning process we want all of our coaches, parents, and athletes to take part in. Our athletes learn so much from the behaviors of those they look up to. This doesn't mean that you can't disagree with a call. What it does mean, it's important on how you handle yourself when you don't agree with something. Remember, it's a game for kids, coached by people who are coaching not for the money, but for the love of the game and the enjoyment of coaching the kids. Have you ever been to a high school or junior high sporting event when someone goes ballistic about something that happened in a game? When reflecting upon what happened, how does that make you feel about the community? What people need to realize is that the actions of some reflect upon the entire community. Respect the game. Respect those kids and coaches who are doing their best, and understand that officials will make a bad call. These next several slides will supply you with information about the members of the OHSA, as well as some other things the OHSA does for athletes. Each sport will have their own individual sport meetings. Parents and possibly athletes will be required to attend these meetings. Every parent will need to sign off on the team sports rules, but you must attend the individual sport meetings. Thank you so much. If you have any questions regarding the information in this presentation, feel free to call the athletic department. Thank you, and have a great season.